Lieutenant Victor Singleton, Chief Accident Investigator for the Marine Corps Police Department here at Marine Corps Logistics Base. Albany right here is my hometown. Born and raised on the east side, right at the back gates. Left here early, probably around 19 years old. Went in the Marine Corps, Paris Island. Did a couple of years there because I wanted to go to school, and the Marine Corps didn't really have any funding at the time, so to speak. I ended up doing a lateral transfer and went into the Army. And they sent me to beautiful Germany, where I spent the majority of my time in the military there before going to Desert Storm. And then I got out in 1992, and then I started a police career. And it's been going on for 20-something odd years now. And I ended up doing a duo, police and military, which was a great fit for me. Graduated from Doherty High School right here in Albany. So I'm a product of Doherty High School. The environment that I happened to grow up in was a tough environment especially for teenagers. I saw a lot of things. I saw a lot of things happening to kids, elderly people. So when I got out of the military, I did ask myself, well, what do you want to do? So I coined myself as somewhat of a humanitarian. So I wanted to do something that would help somebody else. So law enforcement was the perfect fit for me. I got to deal with the youth. I got to kind of do my part to protect the elderly. And that's the reason I really got into law enforcement. I didn't get into, per se, put anybody in jail, but as a preventive mechanism to keep some crime from happening to those class of people. I love kids and I love the elderly, so that worked out for me. I used to play a lot of racquetball. When I was in the military, that's all I did. I played racquetball. When I was in Germany, and I was in every tournament you could name. But after I got out of the military, I kind of picked up golf. Once I got introduced to actually playing golf, then I got into learning how to teach golf, and eventually ended up working with the First Tee program as a golf instructor, which again was perfect for me, because then I got to deal with and teach people how to play golf from ages 6 to 66. So golf now is what I do. And if you ask anybody about Vic Singleton, they'll tell you, yeah, he plays golf. Pretty much the environment that I was in as a teenager, seeing some of the things that were going on in the neighborhood, having a talk with my mother, her having a talk with me, made the decision that, that environment just wasn't gonna produce the kind of person that I wanted to be or my parents wanted me to be. My choices at the time were limited. We had very limited opportunities to do anything other than work in some of the factories in Albany, and I didn't feel like I wanted to do that at the time. So the military was my choice to keep me stable, get me out of that environment that produced so much negativity. If the environment is conducive to something that they want to do positive, they don't necessarily have to go to the military. There are plenty of opportunities around Albany that young men and women can take on. You just have to evaluate it and make sure that you don't succumb to some of the peer pressures that we know out there that lead to, negative situations. Be careful, be mindful, pay attention. I think the best part of my job is, like I say, I'm that humanitarian kind of guy. So whatever is good, then that's what I want to happen. So being a traffic supervisor and accident investigator, I don't set out and I don't tell the guys that work for me to go out and write tickets as a preventive thing from my standpoint, to make the base safer for people to travel, for the motorists to feel comfortable traveling aboard the base. And in addition to that, making sure that the younger officers are getting the opportunities to advance in the law enforcement field. Just knowing that I'm helping someone, and in my case, the younger officers and Marines that work with the police department, knowing that they're comfortable with coming to me to ask me questions about something that they have a concern about, God and then family. My mother has always taught me, and my siblings, that has to be number one. You don't have to kick no church doors down, but the relationship that you have with him has to be set before you do anything. You're reading a book, and you're turning pages and you're reading those pages in that particular chapter, and it's telling that particular story. However, when you get to a certain point in that book, then you actually go to another chapter, which is a different story from where you just left. At this point, it's not an ending of my book, it's just a turning of a chapter. I've retired once before. I retired from the Albany Police Department in 2008. And this retirement is a bit more surreal than the last one, because I understood the last one, I knew I was going directly into another work environment. It wasn't a permanent retirement. This retirement, it feels different. It's a little bit more emotional for both me and people that I speak with, that I've worked with over the years. I'm gonna take it one day at a time, but it's gonna be a challenge moving from here to the next chapter. So we'll see what happens.